So where are we with this next Apple event, and what can we expect to see from the next generation of iPhones? Well, come along and let's ride on this fantastic voyage. Let's imagine what Christmas in September will look like when we're gifted with bright, shiny new objects from Apple Claus in the iPhone 14.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Me and the team here at iMore have all the leaks and rumors fit to print. I mean, read. I mean, YouTube. Darn it, we have all the info. Get it where you want it, but here on YouTube, I'm gonna walk you through it all. So let's get into it. Before we begin, big shout out to the iPhone rumor and leaks team, Stephen Warwick and Joe Widishek. Lord, I hope I pronounced that right. There's a lot to detail, so let's begin with which flavor of iPhones we're likely going to see and which flavors look like they're going to be taken off the menu. Rumor has it that we're going to lose the iPhone mini, a phone that I truly enjoyed using. It was like my Sunday car. We're all wealthy, we can relate to that, right? I can use the Pro Max all week, and on the weekend when I want to be a dainty little dandy and have something svelte enough to place in the breast pocket of the suit jacket I don't own that I'd wear to a club or nice date dinner, well, the mini just screams,
I'm your huckleberry.
But for those of you that like big phones and cannot lie, the word is the mini is being replaced by a new regular max size phone. So according to case leaks from July, the lineup in terms of size is looking like we'll have the 6.1-inch iPhone 14 and 6.7-inch 14 Max.
I am the Max. Answer your phone.
Then the 6.1-inch iPhone 14 Pro and larger 6.7-inch Pro Max. And this year, it's looking like those standard iPhones will get incremental upgrades in terms of the processors, while the Pro models may get a new processor and lose the notches, along with the addition of a new always-on display. Analysts say there will be a bump across the lineup in camera hardware, no pun intended. Well, maybe just a little. Anywho, yes, a significant bump in specs. According to Max Weinbach, who shared some detailed iPhone 14 Pro schematics, the Pro models will have a larger camera bump to facilitate that upgraded camera hardware. And around front, we should see more of a hole punch notch with a second notch array next to it instead of what has been referred to as the bathtub notch on the current lineup of phones. And while we're talking notches, let's also talk bezels. There's also a report by Ross Young that the new devices would have thinner bezels than 13s to facilitate having displays which are just a bit larger. More so on the Pro model than the Pro Max. And if having a beautiful phone to display is as important to you as that display, the rumor mill has it that Apple may reintroduce purple into the mix and get rid of the Sierra Blue. I'm good with that because personally, I like the green they introduced earlier in the year. So we may be looking at green, purple, silver, gold, and graphite for the Pro models this year. Now, let's talk a bit about the internals. The iPhone 14 standard models will likely use the same A15 chip currently found in the iPhone 13, but according to Apple leaker Shrimp Apple Pro, they'll still get a performance boost as a result of upgraded modems, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and some internal design optimizations. Now, that 6 gigabytes of RAM will be standard across all models, and though Apple is really good with its optimizations, DigiTimes co-signed earlier leaks saying that Apple will differentiate the spec between standard and Pro by placing higher performing, more power efficient RAM in the Pro models. Current iPhone 13 models, for example, feature 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now, there are all kinds of leaks and rumors surrounding the display technology that'll be used this year, but it seems most likely that those concerning a difference in OLED tech and respective refresh rates are most likely. Currently, the standard models have 60 Hz LTPS displays and the Pro models have 120 Hz OLED displays. One report says that Apple may push OLED across the entire lineup, but again, differentiating the lines by using Samsung's new M12 material in the Pro models and their older M11 material in the standard models. Using the M12 material may enable variable refresh rates and allow for another rumor to materialize, always on displays, which is funny in a way because variable refresh rates make displays more power efficient, scaling up or down based on how you're currently using the display, while adding always on ultimately leads potentially to greater battery drain. But this actually makes quite a bit of sense when you look at all the attention Apple has given to the new lock screens in iOS 16 beta. And I have to say that I am in love with my iPhone lock screen. Yes, that is an old school Master of the Flying Guillotine poster I modified to fit my screen and its widgets. There have been indications in the code of iOS 16 beta which appear to corroborate the addition of always on display in the next gen of devices. Well, maybe not the entire generation, as some reports say this will also be a Pro-only feature. So, what's going to be powering all of this? According to DSCC's Ross Young, we'll be getting larger batteries across the lineup to enable the new features. These larger batteries may also feature faster charging speeds as high as 30 watts with wired charging, with MagSafe still topping out at 15 watts. Alongside faster charging speeds, your 5G surfing speeds may consume less power with a new 6nm chip, which are smaller and may also pave the way for faster Wi-Fi 6E. This is the latest Wi-Fi standard, which is roughly 3 times faster than Wi-Fi 5, also known as 802.11ac. Wi-Fi 6E, of course, introduces the 6 GHz band to Wi-Fi, though most homes at this point likely do not have Wi-Fi 6E enabled routers yet. According to analysts, we won't see a significant adoption of Wi-Fi 6E in consumer electronic equipment like home routers until 2024, so if Apple does implement 6E, it will definitely future-proof your phone. And let's talk about what are probably the 2 most important aspects of an iPhone launch besides the hype, and that is the cameras and pricing. As I've alluded to earlier in the video, those lovely camera bumps are reported to be larger this year, with Ming-Chi Kuo saying that he believes Apple will switch to a new 48 megapixel wide-angle lens. This would allow for Apple to take advantage of pixel binning. What does that mean in English? It would allow for more light during low light shots without compromising your high-res stills in well-lit scenarios. The increase in megapixels would also allow for 8K video recording. And multiple analysts are actually backing Kuo on this one. Additionally, he says that Apple may be upgrading that front-facing camera for better focus and aperture, or the ability to take in light to improve your portrait mode for stills and FaceTime. But how much is all this newfangled gadgetry going to cost us? To quote that urban poet laureate Craig Mack, rest in peace.
And it'll cost more than Lee Majors.
Well, rumor is there will be a price hike, maybe not as much as the $1 Million Man. Some analysts believe we'll see a $100 price hike across the board, while others say the base model iPhone 14 will remain at the same price of $799. The rumored iPhone 14 Max could then come in at $899. And with those upgraded components in the Pro models, we're expected to see a $100 price hike on the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, which could start at $1099 and $1199 respectively. That makes me think of this meme. That 14 Pro Max is a 10, but it costs the same as the base model M2 MacBook Air. You still buying? Questions, Q&A, questions that need answers. I hope we've given you some answers. I'm Tshaka Armstrong for iMore. If you have any questions about anything we discussed in this video, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. Love chatting with you all. I will catch you on the next video.